Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here today with Leevi from One Morning Left to talk about Hyperactive, out May 21st on a Rising Empire. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great. Excited for the release of the album. Excited to talk to you.
I know.
It's been a while.
I haven't seen you since we were in Finland in 2019.
Yeah, it was a great day.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, man.
We had a great time at the Beaver Bar, hanging out with you guys. It's great times, great times.
Yes, sir.
Now, talking about Hyperactive and One Morning Left, let's go back to the beginning. Where did the idea for this album, or when did the idea for this album start to take shape for you guys?
Well, I mean, it ended up being kind of like concept album, which wasn't the original idea. It came from, you know, wanting to create something new. Like we obviously love modern metalcore stuff that is going out there, but we also love the 80s very much. So why not combine them? That was the idea. I just wanted to create an album that features these technical riffs that we love, and all these. They use the whole range of the vocalists, both me and Mixu, and just create an album that makes you feel good, that makes you feel sexy, stuff like that. Yeah,
this album definitely does that. It definitely makes you feel sexy. It takes you back to the 80s. It makes me want to dress very flashy, drive a convertible.
Hell yeah.
It's just that kind of a record. Now,
nice.
How is the creative process? So now you guys have the idea, you have the concept, but then how do you put that into practice? How does it work between you guys as far as actually working on the record?
Well, there's 3 main writers for this band, and I've written most of the Hyperactive album, but it goes something like this. I have a riff, I have an idea of a song. Someone says, like, can we do that? And I say, hell yeah, we can do that. That's like the most fun, the best thing about One Morning Left is that it doesn't have any boundaries. If you want to make an 80s influenced album, we do it with fucking lights banging and shit, fireworks going on. But yeah, I just wanted to feature more like this riff that my father taught me when I was like 9 or 10 years old. He showed me all these like old school rock riffs, and I wanted to do something like that with a twist of modern metalcore. Yeah, that's about it.
What do you see being the main growth as far as the band is concerned from the debut record all the way up until this album now?
Well, One Morning Left, we are a lighthearted band, so we have these humorous aspects in our music. But in the earlier work, which I wasn't a part of, it was more separate, it was like glued on the song, but now it's more mature. It's done in a more classic kind of way. Like, can we have this like Eurythmics kind of synth lead going on when we're hitting our 7-string guitars really low? And yeah, that's about it. It's more subtle.
Yeah, it's more integrated, if you will.
Yes. Yeah.
Listening to this album, I was wondering, because this album takes you guys on a very different direction. Like you already said, you brought the metalcore, but you also brought that 80s influence into the mix. Like, in the two worlds, it's two worlds that you don't think that perhaps belong together, but somehow you guys made it work. And as I was listening to the album, I'm like, are they walking a little bit away from the more traditional metalcore sound and going down other complete different avenues? Are you guys doing that, or you still want to keep that metalcore part of who you are?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. We want to keep the metalcore part. But, when writing this and creating this album and the songs, we wanted to create songs that felt natural for us, like the progression, like how it progresses the song. And you know, if there are songs that doesn't have much metalcore in them, it just didn't feel natural to us. And you know, there's a time and a place for a whole metalcore song coming up, or maybe a black metal song, or whatever we want to do. But at creating Hyperactive, everything from start to finish felt natural for us while playing and while listening to the final product. There's not a second that we will change.
Was it difficult for you guys to create the track listing in terms of putting the songs in the order that you did? Because there's a lot of diversity on this record, right? It's like, so it's
Right.
very easy for you to kind of get lost within the album, and then for the listener to kind of feel like, where the hell am I going? Like, like, because there's so much for you to digest. Was it difficult to put them together in an order that would make the album have a lot more playability?
Well, not difficult. Difficult is not a word I want to use here.
Challenging?
We had challenging, maybe, yeah. The opening song, Ruby Dragon, and the song that closes up, Hyperactive, they were the first and the last from the minute that the whole album was done. We knew it. Like, this opens the album up, and this closes it down. Everything in between, well, there were discussions, yes, but overall it was warm-hearted. There was no fighting. There's just a bunch of good songs. We just had to put ourselves in the position of the listener, like how much air you get while listening to this. So like, Sinners Are Winners, Creatures, and Downfall are the main songs where the listener gets the air it requires to keep the listening of the album as smooth as possible. So we had a little help from our manager, A&P-REACTS. Sensei, thank you for everything that you have done. I love you, man.
His head just blown up, you know what I mean? Like, his ego now is like all over the place.
He deserves it. He's a great man. He's a great man.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's the reason why we came to visit you guys in Tampere. So he's definitely a great man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I can't believe he actually had his fingers on helping you guys put together the track listing.
Yeah, he's helping with everything, I guess. He's like a producer also.
He's like Master Splinter for you guys, and you guys are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, kind of sexy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But yeah, Otto is helpful. He's a wise man. He knows a lot about a lot of. Yeah. So when we hit a wall, or an, like, how do you say, like this, there seems like we can get a, you know, a clear answer by ourselves. We usually, with humble in our hearts, we proceed to ask him
for his
the question. Yeah.
you know, we're never going to live this down. I'm going to have to listen to him brag about this for the rest of my natural life. That's 100% a given. I was just actually talking to him before we started this chat about something else. So awesome. Yeah, I'm not going to live this down. I'm going to have to hear him talk about this all the time.
Nice.
When I was listening to the record, I defined the album as a Miami Vice soundtrack with a metalcore infusion to it. Were you guys cool with that?
Perfect. It's perfect. The album review you done to the Hyperactive was perfect. I had to look down some huge words because I'm not a native English speaker, so there was I had to like Google some words, but you know, I 100% agree with you. Miami Vice, hell yeah.
Yeah, I also felt it had a little bit of the Night Flight Orchestra, because they really bring that 80s sound, and they even go a little bit deeper into the 70s, but they bring that old school flavor keyboards and that old school flavor sound with a little bit of Bring Me the Horizon. Like, you guys really merged these worlds that I didn't think was possible to merge together and somehow make it work. Were you worried about the fan base? Because this album is kind of like out there. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not your regular record.
Yeah. I think we're on something super personal, something unique, something that the whole band and Ari can stand behind with pride. It's a definitely for the older fans of the band, it's going to be a different kind of experience, but it still has the same lightheartedness, the same kind of, you know, experiencing your boundaries kind of stuff that the older material had. So I don't think we're too much far out from where we started, but this is definitely the way that we're going to keep doing things.
Yeah, you guys gonna keep pushing that envelope and see where it takes you.
Yes, sir.
I have to ask you this: what do you prefer doing? Do you prefer playing the guitar or you prefer singing?
I love both. I prefer songwriting. It's just, I mean, there's a song on the album called Creatures that has most of the singing is done by me. But in the chorus, it's the whole band singing, like each and every member of the band. So we're kind of experiencing with that also. But I like to be the dude who plays the guitar and occasionally sings, because I like to jump around and do flips and shit on stage, bleed out and sweat. You can't do that when you sing. So it's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50. How much from a guitarist perspective did you plan for this album? Like, did you come in with a game plan on what you wanted the guitar sound to be like for the record?
I had some visions of like how the lead guitar sound should sound like, but most of the engineering of the guitar sounds were done by the other guitarist, Tuukka, who is a wizard in preamping the guitars. He knows, he hears some kind of audio levels that I don't like. Like I just want to play guitar. Yeah, this sounds pitching. I wanna, but he's like, you can do it better. And 6 hours later, it's perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a perfect combination of people in this band. Like there's engineers like Tuukka doing the guitars and bass, and Touko handling the synth, and me, Miksu, and Touko handling the vocals. It's a perfect combination.
And speaking of the vocals, is it difficult for you guys to iron out exactly where you're going to bring one and where you're going to bring the other? I mean, having two vocalists on the band, I feel like it gives you a big range in terms of what you can do. But how do you determine who gets the right piece at the right time?
Like I said, when we created this album, we made it to feel as natural as we could. And when Miksu is singing, there's a reason for it. It feels natural. When I'm singing, it feels natural. There's no a mathematical code for like, we have to have this much me in here and this much Miksu in here, and change it in the next song. It's just anything that feels good. Right, we don't stress about it. It's just we have this kind of vocal stuff planned out. Let's try both. Okay, works better on Miksu. Let's do Miksu. Like it's like that. He's the lead singer after all. I just have a few longer solo singing stuff on the album.
And you guys work it all out in terms of what's basically what fits the song and what makes the song better is what you guys go with.
Yeah. We want to have as good songs as possible. It doesn't matter which one of us is singing.
Are you guys planning at some point down the line doing a romantic duet between the two of you?
We have done so in the past. Last summer we did this when the COVID shit happened and all the shows were canceled, we did this kind of, what's the platform where all the gamers go and stream?
Twitch.
Yeah, we did a Twitch stream where we handed out some sneak peeks of the new album that we're releasing, and playing acoustic shows, acoustic songs, acoustic versions of our previous songs, our upcoming songs, and our favorite songs from other bands. There was definitely some romance in there. The lights were dimmed, our eyes catched. There was definitely a moment there, but to do something way bigger with that, I like that idea. Thanks, Pedro. I'm definitely going to use that.
Yeah, you know, you guys can dim the lights, maybe have some candles. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you can and or maybe do it inside the sauna, in a sauna, like, so you guys, you know, can, you know, feel a little bit more in touch with each other, and then have that connection, have that deeper connection.
I like that. To visualize more the sound differences that we have. Mixer doing the crawls, he's going to be in sauna. I'm doing the angelic cleans, I'm going to be in a bathtub. There's a gap between our ice catch.
Yeah,
the lights, something like that.
It's perfect. It's perfect. One of those school, you know, one of those old school bathtubs. You can put some candles around the bathtub.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like, I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it. So there's hope.
Perfect idea. How much I owe you?
It's free. It's free.
Oh, wow. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you guys give us so much, so it's my time to return the favor and give you something in return.
Thank you. That's wholesome. Thank you.
I have one last question for you, and that is, now that the album, well, the album is kind of behind you because you guys already recorded, it's still ahead of you because you're going to release it. But as you look at the finished product of this album, and you start to feel all the work that went into it, and you start to realize what the final product is, what do you think is the main strengths of the record? Is it the diversity that it has? Is it the new approach? Is it the mixing? Because I thought the quality of the sound was outstanding.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Shout outs to Rami Nykänen for mixing and mastering the album. You are a wizard. The main strength, I mean, it's unique. I haven't heard an album like that ever. And I mean, I'm a music lover. I listen to all kinds of music from all the eras. That's how I feel. That's maybe someone will hear some, you know, you sound like this band from 2003 that recorded one demo and nobody heard of. All right, cool. But yeah, I'm fine with that. But I think the strength in it's unique. It's truthful. It sounds like how we perform live. I think it's real. It's just real.
Yeah, it's a very interesting album, and I think depending on I think that what you get out of this record is what you put in when you come into it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, depending on where your mind is when you come into the record, that's going to determine what you're going to get out of it. Because it's an album that, if you come in with an open mind and you come in wanting to have fun, like I said, it's a record that makes me want to buy a convertible, dress like I'm in the 80s, and just drive around playing it really loud. You know what I mean? It's a party record.
Right.
So
that's how I feel.
I loved it. I had a great time listening to it.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you for your time today. All the best to you and the rest of the gang with this release on the 21st on A Rising Empire. I mean, you guys deserve everything good that comes your way. So I really hope that this album resonates with the fans as much as it did with me and it did with you guys when you put it together. So all the best for you and the guys in the band with this release.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words and having the time to have this chat.
Oh, always. For you guys, anything.
Oh, thank you.
Take care, man.
All right. You too.